This video was solely made for the purpose of entertaining your curiosity, and it was not my intention to change or even challenge anyone's views. Never mind the title of the video, having opinions does make sense. I came to realize as I was recording this video that I'm not actually arguing that having opinions doesn't make sense. What I'm arguing is that mistaking opinions for the truth and enforcing them on others doesn't make sense. So let's get back to the video now. Having opinions doesn't make sense to me because they always stir up conflict. Let's begin by defining opinion so we're all on the same page. An opinion is a personal judgment, thought, belief, or viewpoint about a subject. Unlike a fact which can be objectively proven true or false, an opinion is subjective and is based on an individual's feelings, experiences, or interpretation of information. We are all born with preferences which we have no control over, whether we want to admit it or not. Those preferences influence the way we perceive and experience reality. Suppose there's a person whom, for the sake of this argument, we shall call Andy. Andy is born with a preference for sweet foods and a distaste for salty foods. One day, Andy is offered ice cream by his parents and, realizing that he likes the taste of it, he decides that it is good. Given that he's a child, which makes him extremely inexperienced, his primal desire is to maximize his pleasure, so he continues to eat ice cream as often as possible. With each ice cream he eats, his brain associates ice cream with feeling good. As a result, he forms the opinion that ice cream is good because it improves his quality of life by stimulating the pleasure centers of his brain. One day, Andy is also offered crisps, but he doesn't enjoy eating them, so his brain associates crisps with feeling bad. Given our survival instinct, our brain are wired to notice the bad more quickly than the good, so an experience only needs to produce a bad outcome once for our brains to label it as bad and remind us of it repeatedly. Fast forward to when Andy's a grown-up, he learns that both ice cream and crisps are unhealthy. He also learns that both are linked, in different ways, to conditions that can decrease a person's quality of life. Even though he knows that they're equally harmful, if you were to ask Andy about them, he would nonetheless have a bias towards ice cream. When confronted with facts, his brain would start fabricating excuses to support his belief that ice cream is good. Well, maybe not good, but definitely not as bad as crisps. And all the data in the world could not convince him otherwise. One day Andy falls in love with a girl named Lucy. But Lucy is someone who was brought up in a strict environment, where ice cream and crisps were considered serious health hazards, and where she faced punishment for having them as a child. She was also told countless times about the impact they have on a person's health. She was even shown examples of numerous people who developed different health conditions because of consuming crisps and ice cream. So now that she's grown up, her opinion is that both ice cream and crisps are equally damaging to the human body. As luck would have it, when Andy falls in love with her, she happens to fall in love with him right back, and they love each other so much that they get married. But soon enough, Lucy discovers that Andy has a weakness for ice cream. Since she genuinely believes that her opinion about ice cream reflects the truth, she decides to confront him about it. She also decides that, because of another opinion she holds, that if you love someone, you are responsible for their well-being, including, among other things, their physical health. Lucy tells Andy what she believes about the negative effects of ice cream, but since he's heard it all before, he disagrees with her. Lucy then brings up all the facts she believes support her position, which, in turn, makes Andy feel attacked and become defensive. Now, he responds with the fact that someone who truly loves him wouldn't ask him to give up something that brings him pleasure. Lucy says she believes it's her duty to look after his well-being, to which Andy replies that his mental well-being doesn't feel very looked after right now. Lucy then says she doesn't feel heard in this relationship anymore, and she bursts into tears, which makes Andy furious and causes him to accuse her of trying to manipulate him. And next thing you know, they're in court dividing assets. Now, I know I'm exaggerating, but doesn't this story sound a little like reality? I know no one, or at least I hope no one, would end a relationship over something so trivial. But tension does drive people apart, and it can lead either to a toxic relationship or to a broken one. Do you reckon Lucy and Andy would still have ended up divorced if Lucy had kept her opinion to herself? The only reason they argued is because both believed their opinion to be the truth, which made each of them feel they were right. But two people with opposite views, beliefs, or opinions can't both be right at the same time. Either one of them is right, or neither of them is. The mistake was that they both tried to convince the other that their opinion was true. And you can't really convince people of things they aren't already convinced of. If you don't believe me, try convincing yourselves of things you're not already convinced of. So I guess having opinions does make sense because it's part of our nature, but believing our opinions to be the truth and enforcing them on others doesn't make sense.